We are all brothers who care, who care.
Welcome to the Pro Goes On podcast. I'm your host, Zach. Um, Welcome to part two of my documentary series about my touch rugby journey. Um, so, in part one, we spoke about my first four games, 4 or 5 games for Momich. We spoke about the brotherhood, what it meant, coming from rugby, full contact rugby into playing touch rugby and having to learn new techniques and having to learn new rules, etc. And I don't know if you can see, if you can notice, but I've got the Bro Goes On podcast cap. So I'm branding myself, I suppose. And yeah, it's all thanks to Rustic Edge. I've partnered with Rustic Edge Pty Limited. So he will be doing the merchandising for me, and yeah, so everything that I'm going to be wearing will have the Brogo Zone podcast logo on it. So very proud of that. Um, and also in the same breath, uplifting another brother who's doing well for himself, who's basically showing each and every one of us the mold, as it were. Um, on how to sort of do things, and hopefully we can get an opportunity to get Rustin on the podcast and chat about his business. So thank you, my brother, for the branding. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so getting back into the Bro Goes On podcast, man, what a journey 2021 was for me. 2022, I think I played about 8 games or so for Momich. Um, leading into the finals day, or should I say the finals day was included. And yeah, I'm just gonna pop this around my neck because it feels awesome. It feels nice having a bronze medal or any kind of medal, any achievement associated with yourself. Because you put in the hard work, and I think that's what I did. That's what sort of changed my mindset after getting that first medal in 2021, and moving into 2022. It was, I sort of knew what to expect, but I also knew that I suppose the challenges would be more because I was more involved. As I said, I started playing more games. I was more involved, and I had the opportunity to play against sort of better opposition, tougher opposition as well as we went through the tournament. And there were obviously new guys coming in. I myself was also still sort of adjusting to the way things were going. But as I went, I learned the rules, etc., and it helped a lot that I had experienced friends, brothers around me, giving me that sort of security, directing me on how to play, how to defend. As I said, I was still learning, but as I was going through every game, I suppose I grew. I grew a lot more. Um, I was playing a lot more with my cousin Chester. So that had a sort of comfort to it. There was a comfortability to it. Um, yeah, I don't remember much, in each game. If there was anything specific that I did, I contributed in the best way that I could, that I believed that I could, and I had a lot of confidence because I had won a medal the previous season. So I had a lot of confidence, and I put a lot of emphasis on my training, my strength, my conditioning, Um, I didn't put a lot of emphasis on my stamina. I think I think 2023 uh, was more stamina based. I suppose if I can call it that. 2023 was more stamina based. Um, then 2022 was just about sort of fine tuning the things that I maybe missed on in 2021, that I wasn't very good at, you know. So I think I sort of try to round it off, by being opening up myself more to the games, opening up myself more to um, what what the team needed, what the team wanted. Yeah, there was an individual goal at the end of the day where there was a medal involved, and I think the excitement of wanting to win, um, knowing that on the day of the final day, knowing that I was going to possibly get a medal, and I think I scored my first try in that final as well. And I mean, things were just clicking, for the team. You sort of could have felt, there was something different. There was more confidence. There was something was just different. More guys started coming to the games. The continuity, the team dynamic was much more secure, if I can call it that, um, compared to and these are all just based on my experiences. I think the team dynamic was more, um, it was more fluent. Things were flowing naturally, I suppose, and we sort of knew the way we wanted to play. I mean, we came up against, I think, I remember Cape Town Barbers. I think we maybe lost by 1 point or by 2 points against them, but it was all on a defensive aspect. Defensively, we weren't good. I think I wasn't good defensively. I know that, and I think that was one of the things that I really wanted to work on, was my defense and my stamina and my speed. Because obviously I was a bit older, than some of the other guys, and I think that is also what made me want to make up for what I was lacking. So if I was lacking in speed, I wanted to make up for that by being faster. If I was lacking in stamina, I wanted to make up for that by, you know, showing that I could play, um, sort of in a half, a first half or a second half, that I could last longer. I had a longer, or I tried to have a longer breath, uh, uh, um, that I could endure, basically. And yeah, there's not many things that were negative for me in 2022. I think the fact that my cousin had moved to New Zealand, was on his way to move to New Zealand, was, I think that took a bit of a, it sort of hit me out of left field, because he incorporated me into the game. He brought me into the game. He made me feel comfortable. I sort of knew that I was sort of, in a way, kind of like, um, sort of protected, because, um, like I said, the guys who had been there and done it before, made you feel calm. They made you feel protected. They made you feel secure. Um, Not that the effort that you had to put in um, wasn't enough. It's just that you had to do things differently. But I think in a way I sort of rode on that wave that the more experienced guys were driving the team. I sort of rode on that a little bit. It gave me a lot of confidence. Confidence, I think. Um, and that was the one thing that wasn't lacking for me that season, was confidence. But I also knew that I wanted to win a medal. I knew that I wanted to be more successful than what I was in 2021. So it was definitely something different for me. Um, I felt I felt sufficiently when I heard the news that my cousin was going to move. Um, I think that also had an emotional aspect to it, where I felt, you know, are the guys still going to, accept me? They're still going to treat me as they have before, knowing that my cousin is moving away. Um, and what one thing that he did ask of us is that we keep Momage alive, that we keep, the team going. And I think I'll get a little bit more into that in part three. I'll get into that a little bit more, because that's where a lot of things sort of started to change for me, and I started seeing things a little bit differently. But I think I remember that last day, um, the finals day, where we played against, I think we played against Cape Town Barbers, and we beat them in the final, in the bronze medal playoff. And that's where I scored my first try as well. Very memorable for me. And yeah, like I say, things just felt very, very different in terms of the environment. And we even had a sort of a team building, we had a training session. And that, I think, that also gave us a little bit more of an edge, because we practiced together, a few of the guys, and there was just something different about the team that year. We won more games, we had more fluidity, there was more sort of cohesion, and the guys who could contribute, when they were able to, they also brought something different, and it was just a sense of things gelling together, man, and yeah, I think for me, 2022 season was a very successful season. I won the second medal. My confidence was high. There was a lot of change that was going to come, going to happen. Obviously, with Cheston going to move overseas at the time, and we needed a new captain, we needed new motivation, we needed new players, we needed new strengths, we needed new cohesion. So there was a lot of things that were going to change, but I think just the positivity around the team. For me personally, mentally, my confidence was on high. I was enjoying the touch rugby a whole lot more, I think, than the previous season, and I think I was a little bit more confident in myself that I was contributing to the team um, more often than what I was the previous season. So it was, for me, it was something very, very different, um, that was happening. And I think, yeah, look, I based a lot of my confidence on winning a medal. It was it was one of the things that sort of kept me going, if I can call it that. And it was it was a positive thing for me, I think, in the end. Um, but yeah, I'll get into it, again in the next episode, in part three, which will be the final episode. So basically, my story is just about inspiring men, inspiring guys who have maybe given up on their dreams, have told themselves, you know what, I'm done. I'm too old, or I'm tired. Whatever the case is. But I think for me, just knowing that I didn't have to give up, knowing that I could do the best that I could, knowing that whatever 2021 was, I could take parts of that, bring it with me into 2022 season, and develop from there. And also just watching my confidence grow as well was also something that I really enjoyed about myself. And for someone like myself who thrives on confidence, if my confidence is low, somebody's watching me. If my confidence is low, then I have a better. I won't say better. I have a if my confidence is low, especially if it comes to the sporting dynamic, if my confidence is low, then um, it, it doesn't fuel me. It just makes me more sort of weary. Opens my eyes to a lot of things. I think the fact that I'm older now gives me a better perspective on a lot of things that I didn't know about myself back then. And being in a sporting environment sort of opens that up for you as well, I believe. And I think that is what the touch rugby's done for me. That is what it's given to me is confidence. It's given me a whole different perspective of life. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just about positivity. 2022 was just a positive thing for me. There was nothing negative, really that came through for me. It was just things that I experienced on my own, and learning to develop as a touch rugby player, transitioning from full contact rugby, 15-man rugby to touch rugby, where it's a sort of a 5-man, 5 against 5 game, and having to test yourself against people who are bigger than you, faster than you, younger than you, and it was just awesome for me to see how I developed as a person, and what I sort of could bring to the team, what I could bring to individuals, what I could do as an individual for myself, for my confidence, etc. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Part three will go a bit more deeper in depth, and we'll see what we uncover. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this episode.